Hey everybody, welcome to today's video. Today is just going to be kind of a chatty, get to know me video. I'm just going to tell you some things about me, just kind of let you know who I am and what I'm about, and let you kind of know who I am, not just my channel. This video was actually inspired by my son, who said that in my Let Me Introduce Myself, I talk more about the videos in my YouTube channel than I did myself. So, Nicholas, my son, this is for you. I love you. So, sit back, grab a drink, and let's get talking. That's my cherry limeade cocktail. Oh, it's amazing. I'm gonna make it one day on my channel. Already starting talking about my channel. So, my name is Shelly. I am 48 years old. I have a 20-year-old son, Nick, I just spoke about. He's my one and only. And I now have a 1-year-old grandbaby, which is just my absolute world. I am married to the love of my life. I can't say enough positive things about him. And we are living happily ever after, which is just an amazing feeling. I live in the Woodlands. It's between Houston and Dallas, for those of you that don't know that. We lived in this area for about 6-7 years, and then when Nick graduated from high school, we moved to Dallas, and my husband was born and raised in Dallas. So he wanted to live there for a little while, because when he graduated high school, he moved out to Arizona and went to ASU. Well, then he ended up just staying there, even though he wanted to come back to Texas. But it's just one of those things, you know, life happens, and then next thing you know, it's 10 years later, and you're like, oh, oops. We know. I mean, I've been there. I mean, I get that way. Like, just life comes and goes. And anyway, so we went to Dallas and lived there for a year at the end of 2018, and it wasn't what I wanted. You know, I mean, I left my son, my grandson, my mom, my dad live, you know, right up the road from me. My best friend now lives around here, and you know, I left all of this, which was fine. That's what marriage is. It's a compromise. He lived here for me. I lived there for him. But we both kind of realized that it just really wasn't what we wanted. It's not what he remembered growing up in childhood, because, you know, when you're a kid, everything is great and wonderful because you have no responsibilities and your friends are your friends. That's it. Your friends are friends. You may fight or whatever, but and as you get older, you know, people grow apart and people get married and have kids, which I understand that. I don't understand that. I understand with friendship or with family. I think that if you're friends and you've been friends for life, I don't think anything should get in your way. That's just my opinion. I mean, how do you feel about that? I just feel like marriage shouldn't be an excuse. I don't feel like kids should be an excuse, especially now at our age. All of our kids, I'm pretty sure, are grown up. Why are we not all getting back in touch with each other? Why are we not all hanging out? I do know that I try very hard to, you know, I have parties, I have get-togethers, and I try to invite all my high school friends that live, you know, within an okay distance. I mean, we had a 4,500 square foot house. We had plenty of room for people to sleep, and only less than a handful of people came. And it was basically my two best friends from high school, or from elementary school to now, and, you know, my cousin. I mean, and it kind of broke my heart a little bit that, you know, my childhood friendship and my friends just cared less about me to, you know, not even show up. And so, you know, it's hurtful because there's no reason not to, but that's that. I grew up in a small town. I grew up in Crystal Beach, which is off Bolivar Peninsula, and I know a lot of people don't know where that is. So think of Galveston. It's across the ferry. So I grew up there. So small town life, which is good and it's bad. You know each other, but you know each other. So it's good and bad. You know, I was a small town girl with big city dreams. And so, you know, I had moved, and, you know, I like a big city, but I don't want too big of a city. I think the Woodlands is perfect because we're not in Houston and we're not in Dallas. It's just, I mean, it's trees everywhere. It's everything you think of Texas, except we all don't ride around on horses. I don't know why people think that. What is that? Why does everyone associate Texas with cowboys? I'm not a cowboy, thank you. But that's really funny that people say that, because, I mean, I have family in Missouri, and I went and stayed with them one summer, and that's where everybody was like, oh, all y'all ride, you know, like, we don't all jump on a bull and ride it to work. I mean, what the hell is wrong with you? Seriously? So anyway, I do have a problem with that. I mean, born and raised Texan, and I know that, there's probably less cowboys here than there are in Oklahoma. So enough with that. Anyway, get off my little soapbox. I don't open up about myself a lot. So this is going to be really hard for me because I just feel like people don't care. Like, they don't care who I am. You don't care who I am. You don't, and I understand that. So, I mean, I've always just I've never given too much of myself up. People ask questions, and I do everything I can to avoid the answer because I don't open up about myself. I'm here and I'm just kind of living my life, and that's all I've been doing. And I guess that's another reason why in my other video I didn't really talk about myself, because in my mind it's like nobody really cares. If people actually watch this video, I will be surprised. Thank you for watching, by the way, if you are watching. So, I mean, it's kind of a difficult thing because I don't know. I just don't talk about myself. So, we lived in Dallas for a year, and I was unhappy. We moved back. We've been here probably 2.5 months. We've been back 2.5 months, and it has been so stressful because I actually have more going on in my life now in the last 2.5 months than I've had over the last 4 years. Because now I'm doing YouTube. Now I have my grandbaby, and it has just been a wild ride. I'm not complaining. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every moment and everything that I have in my life. I have a very blessed life. So I'm not complaining. It's just like, whoa, what the hell just happened? Because now it's just, I can't find the time sometimes to sit down. There have been days when I won't sit down till 9 o'clock at night, and it's just the wildest thing. But like I said, it's okay. We had a 4,500 square foot house because we had a 2,700 square foot house, our first one that we had together. And I'm like, wow, this is really small. I want a bigger house. We got a bigger house, too big, too small, too big. That's what she said. So I'm kind of like Goldilocks. So, I kind of want that perfect house. Well, since we were moving back down here, we just decided that we didn't want to rush into anything. We didn't want to make a commitment to something that we were both going to regret eventually. So we decided to live simplistically for a year. So now we live in a 2-bedroom townhouse. I think it's 1,800 square feet. But it works for us. It's me and my husband. He and I both work from home. He owns his own business. And we've been working together at home together for 7 years and have not had a problem. So, I mean, this is nothing. He's upstairs right now listening to music, and I'm doing my video. But I mean, it's not a problem. It's just, trying to figure out how to go from having all of this stuff to barely having stuff. But it's better that way. It's easier that way because then you don't have so much going on. I mean, our garage right now is full of boxes. Because I'm not going to unpack all of our dishes. I'm not going to unpack all my clothes. I'm going to unpack everything. Because we're just going to turn around in a year to a year and a half and pack it all back up and move out again. And honestly, this moving is for the birds. I'm so over moving. So that's why we decided that we were just going to wait, live, very simplistically for a little while. And that's what we're doing. And it works for us. So, I'm not having the parties like I used to, obviously, because I'm still, I wouldn't say I'm freaked out, but I'm still not 100%, okay with letting a lot of people come over, because it's still out there. This COVID stuff is still out there, whether people believe it or not. It's there. And I have a grandbaby, and my mom is not old, but she's not young, so I'm not going to take that chance on someone coming over and screwing up our lives. So if I have get-togethers, like I'm having a Halloween party and my best friend's coming over and my mom's coming over, and so it's just going to be the 4 of us, and it's going to be just fun, and that's all we need. I don't need a ton of people, not yet, but it's coming. My Galveston house is coming. Hold on, y'all, for all you that are my friends. We're going to be having a party. So, it's going to be a lot of fun. If y'all watch 90 Day Fiance, it's kind of our guilty pleasure. If you watch 90 Day Fiance, my mom decided this. She said, we ought to be Darcy and Stacy for Halloween. So I have wigs ordered. It's going to be hilarious. And I'm going to vlog this party. It is going to be insane. So I can't wait for that. Matter of fact, I bought eyelashes. These are the eyelashes that I bought for me and my mom. Because we're twins, we have everything the same. And if you watch it, you understand and you get it. And if you haven't, you should. It's such a train wreck. These two women, oh my God, I'd never be friends with them. They annoy me. Anyway, so that's what we're doing. I mean, I'm an entertainer by heart. I love to entertain. And, not to really get onto my channel or talk about my channel, but the reason I started doing this is because I have a gift. And, I used to feel like I was bragging or, being narcissistic or whatever, but it's not. I have a God-given gift, and I'm okay with that. I'm very creative. I have a very vivid imagination, and I'm good at it. And so I create these drinks out of thin air, and I'm pretty sure, like I said, some of them have been created before, but I don't follow recipes or anything like that. I think of what would taste good. Now look, this is pretty funny. I have these everywhere throughout my house. These are like just little cards. Look at all that. Front and back. This is just one stack. This is me sitting here watching television with my husband, and I'll look at him and say, you know what sounds good? And I'll have to write it down so I can remember it. And I'll write down every single thing that I think would sound good in it. And that's what this is. I have some by my bedside table. I have some downstairs by my exercise bike. And I have some at the table where my computer is. I mean, I have them everywhere because, I just, out of thin air, my mind's always working. I've always been very creative, and I'm proud of that. I'm not narcissistic. I'm not conceited, anything like that. I'm proud of what I have. And hopefully I can show you through time what I can do. My videos, they're not all going to be just about, cocktails or whatever. I'm going to do some cooking videos. I'm going to do makeup videos, skincare videos. I'm just going to do a lot of different things, but kind of stay in the same realm of my lifestyle. So it's going to be a little bit, I'm not going to do all the same thing. Speaking of cocktail, take a sip. That's so good. I love that stuff. So, let's see. On a more personal note, a couple of years ago, I used to run all the time. I love to work out. Working out is something that I just absolutely love to do. And just one day I was running on my treadmill like I normally did, and my foot caught and almost fell down. Freaked me out. Didn't know what was going on. And so I'm like, okay, I'm not going to run for a while. And then probably about a week later, I was doing a step workout like I always normally do. My foot got caught and I actually fell. I fell down and rolled. I'm like, well, what the heck? And then, it wasn't too long after that my back just, everything just tightened up and started hurting, and I could barely walk. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so we went to a chiropractor, and, it's one of those things. Chiropractors are, some are good, some are not good. This one was not good, and he didn't really do anything for us. My problem is they try and tie you into a package that you may or may not need. Anyway, so I finally went to a good chiropractor that told me that I had extremely tight hip flexors. Never would have thought hip flexors because my back hurt. Anyway, so I was just in so much pain, and he's asking me, like, I'm surprised you can walk around. So I had to go to a specialist because I just couldn't figure out what was going on. And I was diagnosed with drop foot, and I never even knew what that was. And he had asked me, and I know the chiropractor asked me this too, had you been in an accident? Did something happen? I'm like, no, nothing happened. I was running one day and my foot stopped working. And several people that I saw asked me the same thing. I'm like, nothing happened to my damn knee. What can you do? No one can do anything. I don't understand that. You fix Jalen Smith's foot, you can fix mine. But I'm just worried that, over a course of years, it's gotten a lot worse. I wear a brace every day. I have it on right now. I wear it every day. It's a drop foot brace. And if I don't wear it, I feel like my foot's like this. And do any of you have or know anybody, or do you yourself have drop foot? I'm curious to know. Let me know in the comments if you know anyone, or if you even heard of it. But I mean, every day I have to wear this brace, and it just breaks my heart because I can't wear cute tennis shoes anymore. I mean, just even 2 years ago, I could wear heels, I could wear tennis shoes, and I could walk, but I couldn't go real fast. And then about a year and a half ago, I tripped over at my mom's house. I was helping her work in the yard, and I tripped, and my ankle swelled up to be this big. No lie, I have pictures of it. My ankle was this big, and I'm like, oh my gosh, and I didn't go to the doctor. I should have, but I didn't. I just didn't go. I don't know. So now it's gotten it's worse. I mean, I can, barely move it, and it's still kind of swollen. So I don't know. I'll eventually have to go to the doctor, but that's kind of on a more personal thing. So when it comes to working out, I can't do some things that I used to. And, I just realized that over the years of, I wouldn't say not taking care of myself. I took care of myself. I worked out all the time, loved working out, but I didn't take care of myself afterwards. I didn't stretch. I didn't spend time taking care of that. And it caught up with me. So, I mean, if you're young and you work out and you think, oh, I got this. No, you don't. Don't fool yourself, because there are times when I stand up and I can barely stand up still. And I mean, my husband and I got to where we were stretching a lot. We stretch at home. We have our little yoga classes. And sometimes we'll have a Wine Wednesday stretch. We'll get some wine, we'll lay out our mats, and we'll do stretching. And of course, I haven't done it in a long time. Since we've moved, I haven't really taken the time to do it, and I need to. See, again, there I go, not taking care of myself. So I'll get on that. Like I said, there's really not a lot to talk about. I'm not a complicated person. I mean, I'm very low maintenance. I'm low maintenance with expensive taste, I guess. But I mean, if I want something, I'm going to get it. Doesn't matter how much it costs. So that's not something. It's just, I don't need expensive things. I don't need big things. I just want happiness. That's all I really want. And so that's what we're doing now, is living very, simplistically. And we have just a few things to make it feel like home. It doesn't feel like we're just renting a place, but, we try to keep most of our stuff downstairs. So, let's see. Oh yeah. The only thing is I love jewelry and clothes. That's where I don't compromise on. You'll see some of my skincare routine and my makeup routine. I mean, there's not a lot to it. I'm very simplistic. Like I said, the older I'm getting, the more, I need to really focus on my skincare. And finding the right skincare is the hardest part, because I really have dehydrated skin. Not dry, because it doesn't flake or anything. It's just dehydrated. It really needs to drink in some water, which I have over there. So you'll see that everything is just low key, and that's why a lot of my videos are just, they're really small. Hold on, we have our puppy back here. Sassy, what you doing? There's our Sassy. Say hi. Hi, everybody. She needs a haircut. She's starting to look like a shaggy dog again. That's Baby. That's Sassy. She's 14 and a half. She's been with us for a long time. She was sleeping back there, and I moved her so you can meet her. We're hoping to get another dog soon, because that's one of those, when they get older, you kind of want something there. That way, when something does happen, it's not as hard. If you don't have another dog to kind of gravitate to. So we're working on that. But I mean, this place is barely big enough for us, so we're not going to get a dog quite yet. But that's our goal, is to get another one. And actually, there's another thing on kind of a personal note. My dream, at some point, I want to own like 10 acres of land and adopt every single dog in the world that doesn't have a home. And any dog that is in like a dog shelter that's going to be euthanized if it can't find a home, I would go get the dogs and bring them to this land and just let them live out their lives. That's my dream. That is one of my biggest dreams, is I want dogs, cats, goats, sheep, horses, whatever kind of animal it is, to have a life, to be able to live, and they can roam and just run because they'll have the space. Each one of them are going to have their own kennel. They'll have their own bed. I mean, they're going to be like, yeah. Animals is something that I don't tolerate people messing with. That's a big no-no for me. Well, that's one of my biggest dreams. Of course, my second biggest dream, I guess, would be to either have a cocktail line or, like a simple syrup or something. I do this too because I do want something to be creative, because I want to leave a legacy for my son and my grandson. I want them to be proud of me, and I want them to be able to say, that was my mom, that was my grandma, that's what I'm called, by the way, is grandma. I want to be able to leave something for them. So that's another thing. I'm kind of on a quest to do that, whether, I make a cookbook, an ebook. Thank you, Shelby, for that. Or, like I said, to kind of create my own flavorings or just something. I'm on a mission to do something. So now you know a little bit more about me than you thought you did, because now you know my deepest and darkest dreams. Anyway, I don't know what else to say. I mean, I'm really not that interesting of a person. I mean, most of the things that I do that are interesting, I do on YouTube, and if you watch, you see it. That's about the most interesting that I get. So, if you want to know anything, ask. You can follow me on Instagram. You can ask me questions on Instagram. You can DM me. You can ask me questions right here in the comments, and I'll answer them for you. There's something you want to know. I mean, if I get enough people, I would actually have a Q&A and do it live. But, that's just going to have to be, I need more than 2 or 3 people to want to do that. So, if you have any, questions, or you want to know anything, I'd like to know. Ask me. I'm an open book, kind of. I'm not hiding anything. I just don't feel like people, want to know. But if you do want to know, ask, and I will tell you. Thank you for watching today's video. Hopefully you got a little bit more of an insight on me as a person, and not just about my YouTube channel. And, I hope you subscribe. I hope you want to get to know me even more. And I hope that you're interested in the things that I'm doing, not only as a person, but also for someone that wants to help and, kind of guide people, or guide you to, a little bit, more of a healthier life, if you will. Let me know what else you want to see, and I'll see you in my next video.